Hey, welcome back to the channel. All right, it's time for what's going to end up being my last war video for Loki, at least for the time being for a while. We're going to go over Wars 2 and 3, and you're going to see the fight that finally made you just be like, what the heck am I doing? I need to reevaluate. And if any of this comes as a shock to you, I will put a link later in the video and then in the description probably to the video that just explains why I left and what it led to it. Absolutely no drama, purely just an explanation. They're great guys. And then if you're really curious about it, stay tuned for a special message from me saying bye to all the wonderful people in For Loki. All right, let's get to it. So this was a big war against Noon, the best war alliance, I believe, in the game. You know, right now, it was Kenobi for quite a long time. ASR is definitely up there. I'm sure I'm forgetting an alliance or two, but Noon is where it's at. And then, For Loki, top 3 last season. So I think deserves to be in the conversation. You can see we're going up against the Protect Global here, and we've got this kinetic transference. I was originally assigned to bring in Doom for this fight, 5-star Doom. Kind of a joke is, the BG leaders were definitely making me prove my video where I said 5 stars are still very much worthwhile, my 6 stars on defense. But I talked to them and I was like, I'd really feel much more comfortable bringing in She-Hulk for this fight with her natural taunt mechanic, right? That I think it's a 15% increased chance to throw a special for each Fury. And I knew I'd be getting the Furies. They definitely said it was fine and it worked for them. B Manny was advising me to probably throw the SP2s. I was kind of comfortable throwing the SP1s to increase my Furies, but the SP2 makes a lot of sense too. As you can see, we're going to throw that. And I'm going to be triggering the Protection Global, but this is Cole. He's usually pretty happy to throw his specials anyway. And then She-Hulk, being a large attacker, is going to be getting the benefit from the Global too. So it's really working out well. Again, this was Noon though, so I was boosting huge. I did use the invulnerability just in case. I was actually more concerned about the next fight, and you'll see that. And then I brought in the Mr. Fantastic synergy. That's where I said, like, instead of Doom, I'm going to bring in Mr. Fantastic. I'll be able to place the pre-fights. I think that'll be fun, add a little bit. And then also I will be getting the Power Stings, right? Because of the synergy there with She-Hulk. It's a really nice one. So that fight went very smoothly, baiting those specials. I was pretty pumped up. I'm like, all right, I'm playing well. Sometimes I can play very well. It's the consistency that's a problem. And we're really going to see that here. I was assigned this Gulk fight, and I just didn't even think about it. Let's go ahead and take a look. I do have the gray boost running off, so I'm not even sure I'm going to take a look at it. But this node was, here we go, good. So there is the defensive tactic Protect, and I was supposed to wait until the boss went down. And honestly, I was just so excited, and I was a little bit rushed. But that's not an excuse. I should have still followed directions, and I just forgot. And with She-Hulk being a large attacker, I just didn't really think it was going to be that big of a deal. I know that was originally my thought, but I did forget at this point. So we're going in, and then the node is this Crumbling Armor, Force of Will, Kinetic Transference, and Footloose. So I don't want to be blocking him too much, but I don't have to. I'm going to try to do some backdraft intercepts if I can. And then, of course, I want to make sure I keep the slow debuff up on him. So my intention was to start with a parry and then get the slow debuff on him and then just refresh that when I could. And when it made sense, do some backdraft intercepts, and you will see that. And then last but not least, of course, is be aware of Gulk's smash mechanic, right? If I see that yellow fist come up and I have not parry stunned him, I don't punish. Like right there, I didn't punish that special. And I just was really happy with how this fight went. I was feeling so good. I thought this was definitely the toughest fight for me of the war. But I know how to fight Gulk. I don't think he's the toughest defender, but he's placed there for a reason. And so I was pretty pumped up to bring in She-Hulk with her slow mechanic. As you see there, we did the backdraft intercept there with a light. And then there's going to be a couple that aren't going to work out, but I have plenty of time to get my block up, as you'll see. And that's why you do the light instead of a medium. And, he's triggering protection every once in a while, but she's getting rid of it with the specials and doing plenty of damage and keeping her the slow up. It's a nice long slow. And I was very happy with this fight. And you can see, I was very excited. Like I said, I put an explanation of other stuff in another video, and I will link that if you're curious to see those things or you haven't seen it. But I was anxious to get back to my kids, to my family, and that sort of thing. And I knew the energy was going to be an issue, and that I was aware that, we weren't supposed to attack for a while. And I saw Namor open there, and he's not a large defender. And I thought, like, I can do this. Come on, let's get this fight over with. I'm playing well, right? This is about as good as I play. He's got rage. I had tested to make sure that I would not be triggering rage. I did do the math on that, right? Put on the pre-fight. So for you Human Torch users, this is still a bug in the game. You place the pre-fight, you back out, make sure the flame on is still on there. This is going to be easy breezy, right? I mean, I've just got to parry, charge up my heavy, get temperature up, and this is not going to be a problem at all. I mean, this is Namor, right? How bad can this be? Oh man, this is going smooth. I'm feeling great right now. I'm like, you know what? We're going up against Noon. I think we had like 1 death. They had 1 death. We started the season off well against ISO 8. Like, nothing could go wrong. What could possibly go wrong right now? And I'm noticing, like, you know what? My temperature's not really staying high, and I'm used to fighting. Mystics with Torch, and so they help build up all the things that are important for Torch. But it's 94 to 47. I know how to evade these specials. I'm not worried about it. I'm not worried about it at all. And then I'm like, oh, I'm starting to get cornered a little bit. Let me go in early on this heavy. And then he hits me. I'm like, all right, fine. I'm going to throw my SP3. And then after this SP3 is going to be that really nice long stun. I'll just rush in, combo him a few times, and this fight is over. Here's the problem. You're about to see it. You probably already figured out what the problem is. That nice long stun off the SP3 is, that's Archangel. That is not Human Torch. And as I was rushing in, I even realized it. I'm like, I cannot believe I just did this. Like, this is the problem. Like, I know better than that. Like, I'm not that bad of a player. Like, inconsistency is a problem for me. But I've just totally hurt this group. I've totally messed this up. So, I shut down the game, and I was like, I'll just take these. And I don't remember if it was later that night or the next morning. But I went in, I reboosted, I healed up, and of course, Namor's are going to go down. One of the reasons, I did want to use the pre-fight originally is, I guess, the incinerates to help build his rage mechanic. But it is what it is. The decision had already been made, and we had moved on at that point. And then I'm going to take this next fight against Magneto, and then we'll move on to the following war. I think there's some kind of fun stuff to learn there too. But we're going to go up against this fight with Magneto, again with Torch. Magneto and his attacks are dealing the energy damage. So that's the kind of thing that's going to help Torch out. And that's honestly where I'm used to using Torch. I want to make this clear. I'm not making an excuse for the death to Namor. Just if I had done my duels, I would have known all of that and it would have been fine. It's just not what I was default used to. And so me taking a rush fight like that, it's, it is what it is. Nothing I can do about it now. I feel badly. But like I said, not much I can do about it now. And you can see how much Magneto is building the temperature and smolders of Human Torch. And so why Human Torch is just going to dominate this fight. And this is really just going to be some parry heavy type stuff. 3-hit combos with the mediums. And then I did do the special 2, which is what stuns the defender, right? I'm sure that's not a mistake that any of us are really learning from. If we can learn from anything, it's like, don't rush into a fight. So Magneto's going to go down. We unfortunately did lose this war. I think it was 10-2 or something like that. So it wasn't too bad, but definitely I made a mistake, and I think a couple of other people made mistakes that were not necessarily reflective of a caliber player. So, it is what it is. Not much you can do about it. So we're moving on to the next war. This is my last war, and I'm going up against this fight against Dormammu. I have put on the flame on. I've backed out. I've come back in. Long distance relationship, steady buildup. Really not too much to be concerned with here. Torch isn't going to really hit hard enough to trigger the global, even if this is just an R2 Dormammu. I had already decided if somehow he does throw a special, I'm just going to block it. I'm not going to trigger Dex. The flame on ability and the Nova Flames are going to do more than enough damage. I don't need to worry about it. Let's put it that way. So even if I block a couple specials, no problem. And you're seeing those results right now playing out. So Dorm's down. feeling good. The Alliance were playing, I can't think of their name right now, but they're putting up a good fight. They're putting up a good fight. The war is not over at this point. It does look like we're going to go ahead and win that out. And then we're going up against the strike counter, combat power rate. Elsa bringing in an Archangel. So, I mean, really, this is just truly going to be parry heavy here with Archangel. I'm going to go ahead and block her specials. Not going to try to evade them at all. That's going to place the poisons on her frequently, right? A lot of it depends on how many bleeds I have up. But you'll see when she's hitting me, that's going to add to the chance for the poison there, which then creates more neurotoxins. So it's really a nice thing. I think we're going to get a poison added there from her special, and she goes ahead and takes herself out. So yeah, and then going in against this strike counter Cable, I believe this was changed quite a while ago. And then also Warlock is a robot, right? And so I am going to be able to parry heavy and bleed Cable, and he's not going to be able to degen. He can't degen robots. So I am going to be able to be a little bit mindful of the strike counter here, but at the end of the day, I'm not going to pay too much attention to it. I will start landing. Here we go. Here's some of the heavies. And he's going to start degenerating. He's going to lose his power. I could back him into the corner and just do the heavy over and over tactic. But the fight was going so well, I felt like if the opportunity presented itself, I would maybe do it. But, you know, last fight, last war, why even chance it? And so I'm just going to be blocking these. You'll see a few different combinations. I'm not always just to do the 5 hit because I am trying to be mindful of the hit counter, but you can see at this point I've just forgotten about it. It's really not making a difference here. The degenerating's working and the bleeds are working, and all is going well. So felt good. It felt good to finish off at least with a decent war and some fun things to learn there. I am proud of those She-Hulk fights, and that was fun to use her. She's such a great champion. I've already said all my emotional goodbyes for Loki. I think they know I'm going to miss the heck out of them. And stuff like that. And then here is my message. A bit self-indulgent, definitely humor intended. Thank you so much for watching. There will be more war videos as time goes on. I'm going to figure things out and my new alliance, but I will get some stuff out because I do think it's fun. And a lot of you have told me that it is kind of fun to learn, and we will learn together from the comments. So thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoy my goodbye message as much as I enjoyed leaving it. Take care. I hope you either learned something, were entertained, or even better, a little bit of both. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow on Twitter at Vega Gaming 583. Thanks so much for watching. Take care.